Does your drive belt system make noises on a BMW? Is that a squeaky or grinding sound from the belt or tensioner pulley? Or perhaps it has been driven for tens of thousands of miles when it makes sense to replace the drive belt and tensioner? Today we're going to show you how to replace the Serpentine belt and the tensioner with the N20 engine. We'll guide you through each step to keep your BMW running smoothly for miles to come. Welcome to Professor's Garage. Thank you for stopping by. If you found this video to be helpful, please leave us a like. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. There is much more to come on DIY mechanic tips and tutorials in the garage. Let's get started. You need to replace the Serpentine belt on this BMW between 50,000 and 100,000 miles. And in this design, the tensioner and the belt wear together. And of course, if there is noise associated with the tensioner or the belt, it makes sense to replace the belt tensioner too. I love working on a 4-cylinder engine. There's lots of space and easy access to the components of the drive belt. For this job, you should consider OE or OEM parts. My vehicle is over 85,000 miles, and so I'm going to replace both the tensioner and the belt today. I get these from Rock Auto. This is about $18 for the belt and then $35 for the tensioner. These are very expensive from BMW, but you do not have to get from them. I know Continental manufactures the belts for this BMW, and so this is where I will get it from. Likewise, INA is also the OE tensioner for this BMW vehicle. As long as you get them from the original equipment manufacturers, you should be good because they know the specification. And this is the most important thing. Not just the quality of the belt, but the size and the fit. That is super important. It's not worth it to consider aftermarket parts for this job. It's always the best to perform this replacement when the engine is cold. If it has been driven, let it cool down before you start the replacement. The main reason is because when you install the new components such as the tensioner, the torque will be accurate when the engine is cold. Before taking things apart, take a picture of the routing. The tensioner is here, and the belt goes around to the alternator, AC compressor, and then down there is the harmonic balancer. If for whatever reason you want to reuse this belt, and especially if you want to reuse the belt with the old tensioner, it helps to mark the belt with the component so you know the direction in which it should go back on. But this is only when you need to reuse the belt and potentially the tensioner too. On certain models, you may need to remove the intake to get better access. But on this 4-cylinder engine and with this arrangement, I have easy access, so one less step to worry about. To release the tension on the tensioner, you may get away with this 3/8 breaker bar, but it will help if you have a longer half-inch drive breaker bar or ratchet, because that gives you more leverage to release the tension. The tension is released. You can go ahead to remove the belt. And now I can release the tension. As you can see on the new tensioner, there are 3 bolts securing the tensioner onto the engine. So we need to remove these 3 bolts. And these require M10 socket, and you should be able to remove them with the 3/8 drive ratchet. Again, make sure it's seated and then counterclockwise. Should be rather easy to remove. And then one in the middle. I really appreciate BMW for this design. Things are so easy to get to. This is at the top, and the middle, one more in the bottom. We are going to reuse the bolts. This is the second one. There's one more bolt. Very difficult to show from above, so this is right there. But I'm going to remove it, and now you need to make sure you support the tensioner because it's going to fall. Okay, we got it. The bolt is removed, and now the tensioner. So even though these are OE ports, still makes sense to compare them side by side. So this is the new belt from Continental. Yeah, I think they are of the same size. Yes, up to 85,000 miles, there's wear of the belt. Minor cracks, but you don't want to do this late. So before it's too late, let's replace them. Look at the tensioner. If this is stuck, you can wiggle and then remove. The old tensioner, and it goes in this direction. This is the orientation, and the tension is here. Now let's look at the new tensioner. The pin is locked, so the ports should be the same, identical. Another way to make sure they're identical is the port number. Port numbers are the same. On the old tensioner, I think it spins freely, doesn't wobble. And even if you look at the wear on the surface, it's not that bad. It's still quiet, but for the sake of regular maintenance, we're going to replace it too. Out with the old and in with the new. We're going to reuse the tensioner bolt. I noticed there's no thread locker on the threads. So in that case, I'm going to follow the factory installation and use no thread locker. Line up the one at the top, thread this on, and this is in place. That's great. The one at the bottom, that's engaged. The one in the middle, again, hidden behind this hose. Not easy to see. Thread it on. Now you want to gradually tighten the 3 bolts. For whatever job you're working on, it's always a good idea to have even distribution in the tightening process. And so what I'm going to do is going to gradually tighten each bolt. And then ultimately, you're going to torque each of the 3 bolts to 14 foot-pounds or 19 Newton meters. Good. Great. Now we are going to route the new belt. There's no direction. Either direction should be good. So because it's a new belt with a new tensioner, put this on the alternator. And then the AC compressor here. And then hopefully if we can get on the harmonic balancer, that would be great. Here, yeah. Without the tension, everything should be easy. It's roughly there. Again, compare this to the picture you took at the beginning of this job. And if you're not sure, of course, the groove side should go on the groove side of the component. And then the smooth side, this side that is smooth, goes on the idler pulley on the tensioner. It should make sense, right? Grooved on grooved, and then smooth on smooth. So now it's about ready. And remember, the pin is still on, so there's no tension yet. Again, push it clockwise to release tension on the pin. Pull the pin out, and now you can release it to put tension back on. Make sure the belt is seated on the harmonic balancer, the AC compressor, also on the alternator, and then on the idler pulley of the tensioner. Now, moment of truth. Very quiet. You only hear the sound from the engine. You don't hear anything from the belt or any of the pulleys. It all sounds good and looks good. Nothing wrong. And I will see you in 80,000 miles or so, if not sooner. I hope you found this video to be helpful and informative. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Professor's Garage. If Professor can do it, you can do it too. Stay dirty, stay safe. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and give you peace. 平安。